Okay, so we're live on YouTube now. You can't see me on YouTube yet. Let me welcome everybody. Welcome to this live stream channeling on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, I'm Dante Starshine, and I channel the Pleiadian Council, who are extra-dimensional beings that are guides for all of us and deeply connected with our world. They answer questions and help us connect with our own extraterrestrial and interdimensional selves and guide us in living with more clarity in this path of ascension and personal.
There's something with the sound, and it's about the volume today.
The volume? Oh,
yeah,
no.
It goes up and down somehow.
Really?
Right now it's really good.
Okay. What if I lodge it into my beard?
Try to say something?
Is this working?
No.
No?
Like it sounds like you're very far away.
Very far away. Like here it's good though.
Yeah.
Let's just hope it stays right there.
No, it doesn't work.
No, it's really low. You have another one? No?
I do have another one, but I left it at home. I swore I put it in this bag this morning.
But right now it's really good. What did you do?
Now you're clear.
Now I'm clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so these are the headphones that have to be plugged in and out apparently. So if it ever happens, just like say something, feel free to interrupt as well and be like, plug it in and out, and that won't interrupt the focus.
Right. It's very good. Yeah.
So beyond this, I also do personal sessions and a teacher channeling course that I will launch when I have the space in life to do that again. These are all on donations. So if you feel called to donate, I will put the link in the chat box on Zoom. And if Bastiana, you can copy paste that to YouTube, that'd be great.
Could you make me a host, please?
Yeah, I'll do that too. Do I disappear when I go into the chat?
I didn't look. Did he do that?
I'm gonna make you the host in 1 second. Okay. So I think we're going to get started now. Enjoy the session, everybody. And in terms of asking your questions, whenever the previous questioner is totally finished, you can just hop right in. Or you can also type your questions into the chat box on the YouTube comments or directly in the Zoom, and somebody will read it out loud when it's right. Hello, and we say good day to you this moment of your time. As the Pleiadian Council, we speak on behalf of the Galactic Alliance and your own guides as well, supporting you in this process you term ascension. We thank you for allowing these transmissions to take place, as always, as it supports us in this mutually beneficial process of co-creation, reflection, allowing us to experience more of all that is. The energies on your planet continue to grow and accelerate as you move deeper into this year of your 2021, knowing now that you are being invited again and again to honor your own sensitivity to the environment around you, for this sensitivity to different frequencies will increase more and more rapidly. And our encouragement to you always is to, again, follow your passion to the best that you can with no insistence on an outcome, as is suggested by many extraterrestrial life forms to your world. This is the quickest path to ascension. And noticing your own sensitivity to the many influences around you in this process will allow you to again and again decipher what is the difference between something that causes you genuine passion and something that causes you distress. For many of you, the hooks, or the chords rather, are crossed between excitement and stress. And you may find that you continue to choose to do things that cause you stress without knowing why. And as the energies increase, we encourage you to remember that resting is also a very appropriate, necessary expression of your passion. And it is when you fully rest and drop into your own energy without the influence of so many of the energy fields of others around you, that you truly get to discern what is your genuine truth. For it may be divergent from the truths of many others, and honoring the ways that your truth is unique guides you to the very purpose you have come here today. And thank you for allowing us to share this information with you in yet again a new way. And then we ask you, how can we serve you this moment of your time?
Hello, dear Pleiadians.
Hello, yes.
Thank you once again for meeting with us.
Yes,
and
it's our pleasure.
I would like to ask a couple of follow-up questions to the very generous guidance you offered to me on January 27th regarding my role in healing the sexual abuses in my family.
All right.
And without getting bogged down in the story, there's a lot of story. I've learned quite a bit more since in the past 3 months. And I remain very concerned for the safety of my nieces. But my question today is about my own safety. I have been very preoccupied with assessing the amount of risk and real danger that I may be in if I am to pursue any further attempts, legally or otherwise, to protect these children. So thank you if you are able to elaborate on anything that may have shifted in these 3 months and any advice you may have for me at this time. Thank you.
The very safest thing that you could do while still taking action would be to file reports or send messages anonymously. Would that be something you might be capable of?
Yes, but my concern is that anything that results in interfering with my brother and his control over his children will be automatically assumed to be coming from me. And I note that my younger cousin, who is a victim of my father, is at this moment preparing legal action without me, but has requested my involvement to strengthen the case.
Yes. As we interpret this situation, we don't see that you would pose a risk of physical violence, though emotional violence might ensue afterwards. And in a sense, knowing that to endure that would be doing so that others would not have to suffer more, you may proceed while setting intention and a clear direction to keep yourself protected. Again, recognizing when others attack you with words or threats, that the emotional response you may feel is very real. The charge can be dissipated and the connection with the other can be severed, so that you don't take the energy they send you and make it worse for yourself.
Thank you. What I am hearing you say is that I can release any fear I have of my physical safety, that is, being physically harmed by my brother in retaliation. That is my fear. I'm prepared to accept the emotional and psychological ramifications, but I'm asking, I guess, for that assurance that I am not putting my life in danger.
Yes. We don't see that to be the case at the time. And if anything in this situation changes, you may also want to pursue the idea of restraining orders to make the situation even safer.
Thank you so much. I am truly grateful for your continued guidance. Thank you.
Yes, our thanks to you as well.
Hello, Pleiadian Council.
Hello, yes.
I'm going to read a question from an anonymous person. What strategic advice do you have for us in order to be fully and sustainably ready to shine by August 2022?
Yes. For your world as a collective, we would again encourage you to recognize you are entering into a new time on your planet. and to be very clear about the seeming divides that take place between people. As many have said, there are distinct parallel realities emerging in your world. And you may note that the key distinction in this division is love versus fear. And so this has less to do with what personal choices individuals are making, but by what is motivating them to make such choices. So the more that you return to a state of love, the more powerful you will be and the more centered you will be to embrace this new frequency, this new reality that your world is becoming. Yet in order to truly rise in love, you must make yourself aware of the fear that is there. And so many of you in your world will attempt to conquer fear by denying it, by avoiding it, by putting a mask on it. And this strategy actually serves to make the fear greater. So the best thing that you can do every day is to acknowledge, where are you still holding fear in your body? And engage with this fear not from a mental place, but from a place of pure awareness, allowing yourself to feel the sensation of that fear and breathe into it. Imagine light pouring into those places and feel the emotion as deeply as you can without believing the story that seems to generate the emotion. Because more often, the emotion, when you view it from the lens of the mind, will generate stories rather than the stories truly causing these seeming negative emotions. So you can consider this as well becoming more honest with yourself and more transparent to others, recognizing again that those who will fall the hardest in these times are those who have put themselves on high pedestals. To move forward in humility is to open yourself to all of the connections that are there and available. To move forward in humility allows yourself to feel heart to heart with all of the other humans and non-humans that are a part of your community. And the more connected you feel, the more connected to source you will be, and the more strength you will have in your unity. So again, you overcome this divide between those who are based in fear and those who are based in love by embracing the fear that is there and showing it to create a true place of safety for others as well to be honest about where they are at, for them to open up. And in opening up together, you create a cohesive field that is as well attractive to contact with these extraterrestrial and other astral beings that you do intend to connect with. again, to be based in love does not mean that you will not feel fear. To be based in love means that you acknowledge the fear and love the fear. To be based in fear means that you fear the fear so much that you deny it and avoid it. And again, as always, energies are accelerating, and the consequences of denial and avoidance will return to you faster than they ever have before. Other guidance for these coming times on your planet would be to acknowledge that the way that you have done things is again radically transforming. For many of you, this will mean coming to live in more community-oriented ways. It will mean making different choices about what you value as abundance and how you manage finance. It will mean shifting all of your priorities in how you live your everyday life. And essentially, it all comes back to being more honest with yourself about what you truly need and value. So we hope this helps you, and know that the best is around the corner. There are great surprises to come, and those who truly clear themselves and show themselves to themselves and others around them will be the ones who can receive these surprises in the clearest and most beautiful ways.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to try to keep it simple because it could be a very long story, but I'll do my best to keep it.
Appreciate that. Yes. Getting right to the core of this question will be the most helpful for you and for all.
Yes, right. I have been working to get the unemployment insurance for over a year now, and I finally got some checks. Not all the checks that I could get, because there's a long process of filing many, many weekly reports to get the rest of it. I have free legal counsel who wants to keep pursuing this and doesn't trust that the employment department is going to let me keep this money. Of course, after a year of faxing things and doing many, 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 many things for this, I'm reluctant to pursue the hearing that's coming up in May, the first week of May. So I'm feeling exhausted with this process. I don't know whether to trust the attorney's strong message to go ahead with the hearing.
And why would you not be able to keep the money?
There's some clause that the attorney saw in a letter that she got from the employment department, something about that there might be a caveat, and some people have had to repay the money. I don't feel that there should be any reason, but it's again, it's very complicated.
All right. So we would encourage you to proceed with the hearing, proceed with the filings, doing it as simply and methodically as you can. And again, before you proceed, imagine your preferred outcome. Feel, prior to this moment, the relief that might come with being able to receive and own all of this abundance. And as well, we would encourage you to totally detach from the outcome, acknowledging that if you must repay or may not be able to keep what you are receiving, that there will be other ways for you to experience abundance. So detaching totally from the situation while doing everything you can to assure the highest outcome will be the best way to find the best outcome with the situation. Knowing again that if what you need doesn't come to you from one avenue, there are many other avenues to receive all that you need.
Yes, it feels a bit heartbreaking after so much stress that I admittedly created in part myself, and all the hoops I've jumped through to imagine not having, receiving zero money, and that's the one thing. And also, can I trust this attorney's distrust?
We wouldn't trust the distrust, no. We would instead encourage you to be more open to positive outcomes you prefer.
Okay. Okay, yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yes, our thanks to you as well.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Hi, this is Christine. I've been talking to you last time. It's nice to be with you again.
Yes.
So
likewise.
I had a dream I would like to talk to you about. And it's about the connection I have to this man. Maybe you remember. So I dreamt that I only have one image left in my mind. It was kind of an outside situation, an open field or a meadow. And there was the light was like, it was, what's the English word? Dawn or dusk, let's say dusk. And so I could only see at the end of the meadow, I saw some trees and the sky behind it, and everything was in this bluish light, and I could only see silhouettes in front of the trees, and it was kind of a gathering, the atmosphere was nice, so it was cozy, it was everybody felt good in this round, and the man that I have been talking to you about last time was also there, and me. And I think this gathering, the purpose of it was kind of a lesson or a seminar or something like that, for educational purposes. And the topic has been, how can you love best? And I would like you to elaborate on this, because I don't know if you remember, but this man and I have kind of an affair. It's hidden, and but it's going on for 10 years, and we both feel a deep connection. And I would, in any information about this dream or the purpose of our connection would be most welcomed. Thank you.
Yes. Well, with this theme of how to love best, again, turning back to the idea of total honesty with yourself first. Total honesty as to what your intentions are in expressing this love and connecting with this person, and total honesty with the other as well in turn as to all of your intentions, all of your feelings and your desires with them. This, as well as a non-attachment from the other. For again, it is very easy for you as humans to use your emotional bonds with others as a means to cover up your own emotions. So making sure again that your expressions of love are not in any way there to cover up deeper feelings of fear or scarcity.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to say something?
No. What
Okay.
do you have to reflect upon that?
Scarcity, yes. If you remember last time, I was talking about what I found out about the hidden feelings I still have for my father who passed away. And yes, I'm actually appreciating everything I find out. And I think I'm on a good path. And I do know now that the bonds that we have, and also what you were talking about, hidden desires and all of these things, that they are also affecting or working through the bond that this man and I have. So I know now about this, and I'm curious enough and I feel strong enough to dig deeper. And I know also that my parents are with me. So I'm actually quite happy. But I was actually curious if the other persons or other people in the stream, who were they?
We don't see that these people were much more significant as they were symbols for you of the idea of clear, transparent, honest connection.
Mm-hmm. So it was not spirit guides or something?
No.
Okay.
So, well, yes and no. The specific individuals that you saw were not necessarily the true form of your spirit guides, though they were guides of yours who presented themselves in the form that you needed most at that time of the stream.
May I know who the guides were?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. And one last question. Have
Yes.
this man and I actually been there where this meeting was, or was it just my own reflection of my own emotions and what's going on within me?
You haven't been in that location as if it were a physical place, but in the dream, yes, that was a place you were brought for specific purposes.
So have this man and me been there together?
In the dream, but beyond that, no.
Mm. I'm asking this because I was wondering if it was kind of a lesson that we have in common. I'm actually wondering about what is the purpose of our connection.
You could say that many of the lessons that you are to learn about how to love more transparently and be more honest are also lessons that this man also must learn. And as you both open up more, it will allow for the other to in turn follow that initial step and open up more themselves.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, our thanks to you as well.
Blessings.
To you as well.
Hello, good day. I have a
Hello, yes.
question, if I may.
Yes.
Last time I asked about my star family, and you said that that was the Pleiades, and if you look at the skies, the lights in the sky, that they were trying to connect. And now I wonder if I did see them. I looked at the skies at night, and maybe I did or did not, I don't know. But what can you also tell me more about them and how I can connect? And what is actually then your relation as a Pleiadian council to them? How can I see that? That I think that's yet another level, or how can you explain that?
Yes, yes. So we as the Pleiadian Council, this is a sort of way that we refer to ourselves as a bridge for all of you to establish connection with your own Pleiadian guides as well. There are different guides of the channels who are Pleiadian in their nature that speak through the channel in this way. And you could consider us as guides to you, parallel versions of your soul. So again, your soul is a part of a larger oversoul, and all of the past or future lifetimes are contained within that one oversoul. Again, remember that there is only one moment that is now. The idea of past and future are but illusions, especially to the soul. And so as you go through your life process, unconsciously, for various purposes, you establish energetic connections with these past or future soul aspects that we will continue to refer to as just that, soul aspects. And say, for example, you are learning a soul theme about love, soul theme about freedom. Different energies from these other soul aspects may then transfer between your soul and the other soul to reflect and support both you and your other soul aspects in your evolution. So you have asked, how can you connect with these soul aspects that are Pleiadian? In truth, you are connected with them all the time already. It is not a matter of connecting, it is simply a matter of bringing your awareness into that connection. And so, in order to bring your awareness more deeply into that connection, it is helpful to develop greater awareness in your dreams, and as well practices of meditation, practices of channeling, practices of astral travel. These all are ways that you can work your own imagination. And again, imagination is something that has been downplayed in your world, as if it is something that makes things up, whereas really imagination receives the subtle frequencies that are coming to you from your oversoul. And so using your imagination allows you to fill in the gaps and to receive information from these other beings. It is simply a matter of creating the space for your consciousness to slow down, or sometimes to speed up enough to receive these subtle impressions and allow your imagination to work, while starting by setting an intention of establishing contact with a certain guide or fulfilling a certain intention for healing or personal understanding. So again, there are many different tools. You may know them as meditation, as hypnosis, as astral travel, as shamanic journeying, and so on and so forth, and lucid dreaming as well. They all build upon each other and are tools to have in your energy toolbox for expansion and connection with your guides. And as well, the best thing you can do is always to follow your highest passion 100% of the time. Follow your highest passion, again, with zero insistence on a particular outcome, and doing the very best you can every step of the journey, because that is how your energy reaches the highest state that it can be in. And from that highest point of vibration, you can attract to you both the physical and the metaphysical experiences that you may be seeking.
Thank you. And what can you tell me more about the Yael? And I guess the Sasani, they say the same thing as what you just said. So I know that what you're saying, I understand. Can you tell me something more that's about this?
More about these beings?
Yes,
right, well,
and maybe the relation between the Pleiades and the Yael and the Sasani, or how does that all work out?
Yes. So the Pleiadian beings originated very, very long ago, what you might call millions of years ago, in the system you know to be Orion. There were tremendous conflicts that caused souls to begin incarnating in both Sirius and the Pleiades as newer civilizations that were more focused on spiritual expansion, and in the case of the Pleiadians, love and freedom. And so we grew as a civilization and still exist to this day. We went through many challenges and lessons, and there were many offshoot races that stemmed from our world. One such being, which you know was the Anunnaki, who had some Pleiadian DNA and as well some DNA you might consider reptilian. Those beings were in a process of devolution where their planet was destabilized, and therefore they had to come to your planet for the purpose of mining gold, which they used to stabilize their atmosphere. And in that process, they created humans with their own genes mixed with the genes of early primates. And so humans then are part Anunnaki, and Anunnaki are part Pleiadian, and hence so many beings in your world and so many mythologies then recognize that the origin of humanity is Pleiadian. Now, the hybrid races you refer to as the Sasani and the Yael are quite a bit different, and they relate more to timelines of the future. Understand again that reality is splitting in every nanosecond into different streams. So there is one stream of reality in which humans focused more on mental and technological development rather than the power of the heart and the power of love. They became mutants that were mixed with their technology and lost the ability to reproduce. And in this alternate future timeline of Earth, the humans became what you know as Greys. They destroyed their planet, moved to other planets, and had to shift into your version of Earth in order to mix their genes with that of humans to survive as a species. Having done this several times, new races were created. And so from that initial shift, what you know as the Sasani were the third race that was created. What you know as the Yael were the fourth race that was created. And, or rather, sorry, fifth race that was created. And there are yet more to come as the Yael are presently mixing their genes with that of humans, creating what you know as hybrid children.
Okay, thank you for the answer.
Yes, our thanks to you as well.
Hello, Pleiadian Council.
Hello, yes.
Thanks once again for being here with us. I would like some input on and reflection on upcoming choices in regards to my timeline. I am staying at this place in a collective outside of the city. And many things are positive in that way for what I'm doing, and some things with the location and all feels slightly limiting as well. Now there has come up an opportunity to rent a kind of like a therapy session room, which I can also use as an office. But that would be in a minimum of 3 months. And as I'm sensing into that, I feel both an excitement of feeling that it could be a way for me to do more of sessions and also a little bit more of a workspace than working from home. And whatever access I have from that particular place, that might be good for my just shifting up where I'm at all the time. And I also wonder if while doing that and working one-on-one and those things, if that is really, if there is something more aligned for me perhaps than that in the coming 3 months ahead. And that as much as that could be good, that it might be a little bit of distraction of what I really can bring right now of service.
Do you feel truly excited about using this space? Is it truly necessary for where you are going?
Probably not.
All right. And so when you are unclear about things, we encourage you to look towards the necessity. For if you have other spaces where you can practice healing and do your work, why would this other space be totally necessary?
Right.
Or necessary
well,
at all?
Well, I mean, I do feel a little bit limited in terms of doing things here. And it is in a way the closest where I have found access to something because I am now far away from sort of other connections and access to other things. And I imagine that is a place where people will be more, it's slightly more accessible for people to come to than where I'm at right now. But that could also be me just limiting and knowing that I'll probably also still do quite a bit of online sessions more.
Yes. Okay. We would encourage you to use your limitations as something that gives you focus. What limits you can focus you in the areas that will help you expand the most. And so if the current space limits you to work more online, you might find that working online benefits you more at this time. If certain people are deterred from coming to work with you because of the distance, then you might find you don't need to work with just as many people. And the limitations in the end might end up serving you more than the limitation of having to go far out of your way and put your resources into an additional space that in the end might add more confusion and scatteredness to your energy than truly serving all of the purpose that it may have.
Right, right.
Remember as well, if others cannot travel to you and you can travel to them, that can be another way.
Right. Okay. I can come back with another question at a later time. So thank you very much. If there isn't anything else to add.
Right? Yes, we thank you.
Thank you.
I would love to ask a question.
Yes.
So my digestion is much better, and I have manifested the dream house I was longing for, and it's such a miracle.
Yes.
My body is keeps on calling my attention in many different ways. And lately I have an ankle that gets stuck once in a while, like a few times a year, but it's very uncomfortable, and it can last like for 1.5 days, where I can only move my feet in a certain way, and it's extremely painful if I try to put it back to normal, you know? And it happened twice, like the last week. I'm not really sure. I try to sense into what my body is trying to tell me with this food, this feet, and this food, yeah. And so I would love to hear your point of view on the emotional level and also on the physical level, what I could do to help this issue.
As we interpret this energy, it has everything to do with support. Ankles, as they support your body and standing up, are what create the fundamental connection with the earth. And so when you have belief systems that block you from feeling as supported as you are, your ankles go out to reflect that. So what you can do at that emotional and metaphysical level is to look at the beliefs and get in touch with the beliefs that say you aren't supported and that you are alone and that your needs may not be met, and facing them head on and releasing the emotional charge, creating new beliefs will allow these energies to clear. On direct physical levels, you can as well create more genuine support. That can be receiving therapies or going to community acupuncture clinic to open these channels in your feet. And if you cannot do that and it is inaccessible at this time or at any time, work on massaging your ankle and your foot and moving it in circular motions. Understand as well that beyond when these symptoms manifest acutely, it is a more chronically held blocked energy flow. So those practices you can do that might help you in creating more circulation of energy in your ankles and in your legs will benefit this process. So we would encourage you to, again, use Qigong practices of your choosing that might help your entire energy body to flow more through your legs.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you. I'm just surprised that it's popping up now, just after having manifested my new home, where it makes me feel so supported and so, yeah. So it's an interesting timing.
Well, oftentimes when something comes up that fills you with a certain energy, the places where you are still blocking that energy from entering your life fully will manifest in turn. You might find that you are now more supported materially on the earth, but you may not find that you are as supported by the people around you or supported by humans. So this might be the area where you may be generating a greater sense of community, connection, and mutual support.
I see. Great. Thank you very much.
Yes, thanks to you as well.
And Carol, you can go on.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Pleiadian Council, so much for this opportunity to share. What you said about this crossover between stressors and our passion, very, excuse me, really resonated with me. And also about dropping into our own energies versus the energies of others and resting in that, our own energies. I have recently had opportunity to engage, excuse me, with a community that is presenting opportunities for a course or kind of a process to help everyone kind of find their passion. However, engaging with this community sometimes causes me stress, and I recognize that, and I'm conflicted about that lately. And so, in addition to what you have, enlightened us with today, that I'm not sure, I'm confused about whether I should try to pursue it because I think it might help me find or uncover my passions, or if I should drop back and not engage in it because it's causing me stress. Thank you so much for your insights. This is Carol.
Yes, thank you. And we asked, what aspects of this community do you find cause you stress?
I think it's triggers about, I think it's childhood triggers of fitting in, being seen, being heard. And that's what I could at least recognize in the upfront. I'm sure there's more, but that's my immediate response to that. If that makes sense.
Do you have any suspicion of ill intent of any members of the community, or is it only your own triggers?
It's only my own triggers.
Then wouldn't you see this as a wonderful opportunity to be able to face your own triggers with support and unravel whatever negative beliefs you may be holding from your past?
Yes, and I think I recognize that, and that's why I've tried to, I've continued to stay and try to re-engage with this community. But I find that when I have the triggers, I retreat a little bit because I feel like I need to go back, meditate on it, process it, and then re-engage. So it's been this.
Have you tried to express your triggers in the moment to members of the community?
At times, however, I feel that I don't want to bother or burden anyone with that, and feel that I need to work on it myself internally.
Have they offered you support or shown any availability for that?
Yes, on the surface, I believe. However, I also want to be mindful of everyone's time and everyone else's own lives that they're coping with. So no one's really directly reached out per se, but it's more of a general feeling that the community is there for support if needed.
Well, we would encourage you to reach out more directly and pose perhaps the question if there is somebody who would be willing to reflect with you on this experience and help you to unravel some of these triggers. That experience and that process might allow you to feel more safe within the community setting. Ideally, you can do this with somebody who is a part of the community. Though if no one makes themselves available, that could be a sign that maybe there is not a resonance there, a true experience of support might not be the potential outcome. Or it may be a sign that you must seek other means of finding support in unraveling these patterns of exclusion. So oftentimes simply voicing the feeling of exclusion will be enough that people will step out of their way to create a greater sense of inclusion for you. And with a few attempts at this, you may find that you get a clear read on the situation. But until you raise your own voice and stand up for your own needs, you will never be able to know if your needs will be able to be fulfilled within this situation.
I understand. Yes, that makes absolute sense. And I appreciate that. I am at the moment engaging with another group within this not this community per se, but within the under the umbrella of where this community resides. So I appreciate your insight about that, because that helps me understand that I'm perhaps exploring the areas that I should. And so thank you for that so much.
Yes, thanks to you as well.
So I'm gonna read another question from a person in the Zoom chat. Any considerations I should keep in mind to reach my 2030 vision? And one moment, the vision is a global network of sustainable communities for creative and personal growth.
We may have missed the first part of the question. They are asking for insight on their personal vision for a global network of communities centered on personal growth. Correct?
Yes, any considerations I should keep in mind to reach my vision of 2030?
Yes. All right. Well, so many of these communities already exist. So we would encourage you to continue to reach out and branch out, expand your horizons, and ask others who may be a part of these communities if you can travel to these communities. That might support you even more in getting to know how other people manage their communities. And by reaching out in whatever way suits you, the more you may be able to create that net. And one idea that might serve you would be to find a certain crystal that is a large crystal and can be divided into many different facets. Spread a shard of this crystal to every community under the same vision with the same intention, that the light spread across the global network might reach every community through this shattered crystal. The network of community is represented by the crystal as a complete unit, and through its fractured nature, it allows that energy to spread out over a network and still retain a sense of wholeness, of unity. Each community being a facet of a much larger crystal.
Thank you. TCH, go for it.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Hey, I'm just kind of curious, like, besides, humanity, us, I'm curious if you could tell us something that you and your world is like exploring or interested in right now besides humanity.
Oh, well, we are exploring many, many different worlds in this reality, in this multiverse. We are, of course, in deep connection with those beings, you know, as the Syrian beings. We are even interested in exploring complete other universes. And we are able to travel through certain dimensional portals that allow us to explore these different universes and experience what is there, and as well create connections and spread love into these other places as well. We, by and large, consider ourselves ambassadors. So beyond our explorations, we do have other projects, you could say, much like your planet, developing planets that we keep track of, some of which are just as intimately interwoven with our reality as yours, but not all of them.
Wow. Fascinating. Cool.
Yes, it's very exciting for us.
That's all. Thank you.
Yes, our thanks to you as well. And perhaps we may facilitate the question that was submitted to the channel and shared with you as the host.
Yes, one moment. So, where is best to move to? England, Italy, somewhere else, or stay in Cambodia? I refuse vaccination. I have 3 children aged 4 to 14. Cambodia went from 5 COVID positives to 5,000 in a very short time. There is an 8 p.m. curfew, and many places here are now in lockdown. We are well, but many people are suffering. Draconian emergency laws here have drawn international criticism.
Yes. All right. What we can say about this situation would be the experience of these lockdown regulations and the government control that you are now experiencing in this country is likely to continue for another 2 months and then become a little bit softer, though there will be the possibility of those exaggerations of control to continue over the time to come in spurts. If you are willing to give it a waiting period of 2 months before making decisions, you may have a clear understanding of the general direction that things are heading. The countries we have mentioned of the UK and Italy are also places that will be generally softer in many regards. However, there will still be some regulation, some restriction, and the spread of fear has already inoculated very much some of these places. The best thing to consider would be the specific location within any given country rather than the country itself. Understanding in these times, of course, the countries have their own regulations. There are various attitudes of fear or freedom that different locations offer you. And therefore, we would encourage everyone in this situation to scope out what places are not as much buying into the pandemonium. And if you can choose to be in those places. And if that is not a choice you can make, understand that you can create your own reality bubble to an extent. And it will then mean creating stronger boundaries and, in a way, emotionally detaching from those around you who are generating great fear. Imagine as much as you can that clear channel of light that surrounds your body, connects you to the center of the earth and to the center of the galaxy, and soars. Allow the energy to pour into your body and radiate outwards from you. Create a distance energetically between those who are generating fear and send your loving presence to them. As well, as we have said in the beginning, acknowledging your own fear and holding space for your own fear will help you to step deeper into the vibration of love. This is what we can say about this at this moment.
You want to ask a question? Was it?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Hello. Thank you.
Yes.
Hello, Pleiadians. It seems I have a medium saying to me I have problem with my throat chakra and with my throat. I don't know if I have problem with my thyroid because all the blood test was right, but I still think there is some problem. Can you give me an insight, please?
Are you speaking your truth fully?
No, but it's difficult.
Well, yes. Then why is it difficult?
Oh, you are very tricky. It's difficult. I am trying. I am doing little bit.
The throat chakra opens itself when you express your complete truth. And so you have to look at your belief systems around why your truth might be hindering you, why your truth might be a bad thing, and confront those belief systems, change them,
yes,
if you can, by creating opposing positive beliefs, and
yes,
then
yes.
by, again, expressing your truth, especially in the moments when it's hard. Recognize that every moment you hesitate, you are allowing your energy to lower. And expressing your truth will certainly have consequences, but the consequences can only be positive, as when you express your truth to others, you allow yourself to get a genuine read of where they are at. Until your truth is expressed, you are holding back a key part of that interaction.
Okay, but each time I try to go the right way, I experience a huge panic attack. It's very, very difficult because it's very hurting me. So I'm trying to do the cleansing first. It's unbearable sometimes. So I am trying. I am trying to clean the thyroid.
Have you tried to look at a picture of the person or imagine them in your mind and say what you need to say to them out loud with yourself before you say it to them?
Yes.
And has that helped you?
I feel empty.
You feel empty?
Yes.
So is that a good empty?
Oh, it's complicated. It's as if each time I do that, the ego mind start to give to be happy of I don't know how to say, but I will try to do what you say and and taking the right path.
Yes, try again and again to express what you need to say to others before you say it. And the more you open your voice and say things aloud, the more powerfully you will be able to prepare for speaking the truths that are uncomfortable. Now,
Okay.
every time that you go through these releases of emotion, you are letting go of beliefs, you are letting go of deeply held charges of emotional energy in your body that can only release through feeling them. So you must not label these situations as something bad. Simply acknowledge them for the releases of energy they are, and acknowledge that they are serving a purpose in getting you where you are going.
Okay. Do you think it's all of this problem is related to my weight gain? I cannot release weight gain.
Yes.
Due to the thyroid and the throat chakra?
Again, yes, if the throat chakra is blocked, the thyroid gland does not function in the optimal way.
Okay, okay.
So you can also consider that the weight on the physical body is a representation of the emotional weight you are carrying. So,
yes.
So much of the time when you get closer to these processes of release of emotion, you label that release of emotion as bad, or you do something that slows the process down. And sometimes this may be eating or consuming something, which
yes.
will
Brilliant.
always, again, push the emotion that your body is attempting to release back in. So you have described when you express things that you feel empty. And we would encourage you to allow these release processes, or even these panic attacks, as you describe them, to carry their course until a point that you feel empty. Because instead of allowing them, you are blocking them by filling yourself with something. And you have to adjust to that feeling of emptiness and enjoy the feeling of emptiness, because it is in the emptiness that you can really invite in a greater divine love.
Okay, thank you. Can you say quickly, for our education purpose, if is it true the human are the only species able to carrying so much emotion, and it scares sometimes other species because it's too much energy, and we have to learn to operate those emotions? Can you expand quickly?
No, humans are not the only beings with this degree of emotion. On your planet, perhaps humans are some of the beings with the most advanced emotional systems, though all of the other animals have emotions as well. We would say that because many of these animals do not have as complex societies and as complex negatively based thought structures, their emotions are less irrational and more instinctual.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yes, bye for now.
One more question that Dante gave me before the live stream is, why am I resisting channeling?
Oh, there may be many reasons for this. Now, in the case of the individual in question, there are belief systems that if one fully opened to channeling, one would connect with something negative, or one's energy would change in a way that would have negative repercussions. And so this particular questioner must remember and recognize that if he decides to open to channel, he can also decide to close to channel. And that the gate that he chooses to open, because it is opened intentionally and because it is opened willfully, can also be closed intentionally and willfully. And therefore, there will be no need to influence others with this energy, and others will only experience positive shifts in personality that result from channeling. This really is the biggest block. For other people, the resistance to channeling might be a negative belief that they have developed from their conditioning about imagination. Other people might be blocked to channeling because it may represent a loss of control and they are attached to their own sense of control of their reality. Other people may be blocked to channeling because they believe that there are negative forces out there, and if they open to channeling any entity at all, it will also open them to negative beings. So all of these are belief systems that must be reconstructed, and one must end with a sense that they are capable of establishing this connection, and that their intuition and their imagination, as they are in the moment, are perfect vehicles for this entity or any entity to establish contact with them, and that they are safe in doing so.
Hello, is it okay?
Sorry. DHC had another question before you, Christine. Then you can be next.
Hello again.
Hello, yes.
Okay. I'm wondering if you could kind of like scan, I guess, my liver to see how it is, if it's healthy at this moment. Anything I can do to facilitate health. I accidentally ingested something like about a month ago that was like not very good for it, and I could feel the effects, so like I stopped. But like I'm just kind of curious now, like how that's going. I've been taking care of it, or trying to at least.
All right. As we interpret its energy, it is doing much better. The seeming accidental ingestion was also a way for you to get in touch with other toxins and other toxic emotions that may be hidden and buried there. So to make a emotional connection with the emotion of anger will allow you to clear more blockages in the liver, to perhaps examine situations or beliefs that cause anger that is repressed, and release that emotion simply by accepting it and feeling it will accelerate this detox. As well, you may wish to do a heavy metal detox of your physical body in some way, and trusting that this detox will also take off some degree of this toxic load.
Cool. Okay, thank you for the info. That's interesting you should mention anger, because I happen to have been invited to go to this like place where you pay and you get to like break stuff. Do you think that that could be somehow like turn into like a spiritual practice that could help me with like releasing energies of anger? And if so, like what would be like, yeah, like would that be like, what do you think of that, like in terms of like as a way to healthily move through some of the anger I'm holding on to, like that as a tool?
Does that feel exciting for you?
It does. A part of me kind of feels bad for like breaking stuff because it's like so destructive, but another part of me is like it's probably okay because my intention is good, and I don't know, the particles are probably okay with it. I don't know what the particles are making, but,
Well, allow it to be an experiment. And what we say about this and tools like it are that as a permission slip, it will help you to get in touch with the emotion of anger. Because so many of you have resistance to feeling anger or acknowledging that there's an emotion of anger within you. Something like this, or something like screaming into a pillow or going into the woods and screaming, will allow you to release energies that may be deeply lodged into your being. Though if you become addicted to this output of energy, it will not really serve in the long term. So understanding as well that emotions must be, yes, unrepressed, but emotions should not be exaggerated too far. For when you get into a state of continuing to repeat strong outbursts of emotion for the rush of the catharsis it creates, you might find that you invite those same emotions to repeat again and again in your life. So open yourself to the invitation and set the intention with it that you will get in touch with all of the anger that is there. And you may find that you become comfortable feeling that anger without having to break things. Yet acknowledging, of course, breaking, screaming, yelling, they are all options. And sometimes doing it initially will help you get in touch with the feeling. What creates the most potent feeling is to feel the emotion without reacting to it.
Cool. Cool. Thanks. That's good.
Yes, thanks to you.
Hello, it's Christine again.
Hello, yes.
Is there anything or anything you could tell me that I'm experiencing? I think I'm channeling energies, and maybe my Kundalini gets activated, and I'm channeling energies. Is there anything I should know about it, or anything?
Are these energies enjoyable? Do you
feel... very much.
Yes, then continue to enjoy it. And again, the Kundalini energy is that natural psychic unfolding of your own body's higher dimensional consciousness. So we would encourage you to continue to enjoy these experiences, open yourself to them. There are extraterrestrial beings that would wish to establish contact with you, as well as your parallel soul aspects from Atlantis, Lemuria, and other times on this planet. So invite them in and do everything that you can so that these experiences are as pleasurable and as enjoyable to you as possible. There may be, again, intense releases of emotions that coincide with these experiences of higher frequency energy, and you may be intuitively guided to create rituals or ceremonies in particular ways that facilitate your expansion into these higher states of consciousness. But as we interpret your energy, all of these experiences are well and good and serving your evolution at the time.
Mm-hmm. So, like, I know it's not coincidence, it's guidance. I've been guided to do a ceremony on the wedding day of my best friend.
Yes.
And I'm so thankful for all these. I think it's kind of a reactivation of a priestess aspect in me, whatever. It's enjoyable. I'm thankful for it. I'm really, really, I enjoy it. And yes, I would like to invite everybody who wants to help me. And I invite guidance. Thank you.
Oh, yes. We thank you, and we thank you for inviting us into this experience and into all of the experiences that you co-create. And you may find that you are called even more to create these ceremonial spaces for others as you get more familiar with the gifts that come to you in these psychic spaces.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Blessings.
Thanks to you as well.
So I'm going to read a question from the YouTube chat. It's from Kevin. Monday, I was in a, I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses. I was in a sledding accident in which I broke several facial bones, including a full orbital blowout, and will need reconstructive surgery. Could you give me your insights on this incident and how I can most fully connect with the archetypes of the shaman and the healer in order to maximize my healing?
Yes. Understand that when one manifests accidents of this nature, there is a higher purpose. So you can ask yourself the question again and again, what lesson am I learning from this experience that I would not have had any other way to learn or access? You may find that through this experience, you gain greater senses of compassion for the human condition and the human suffering that is involved in this life, as well as come to have a greater acceptance of the face that you present to the world. The challenge of feeling ashamed or afraid of exposing yourself will allow you to change and challenge conventional ideas of what it may mean to be beautiful. And this experience will help you and many others unlock much greater compassion. So these are some of the initial lessons you may be uncovering. And beyond that, there are many more that you will discover for yourself that we cannot spoil for you, for they will be more potent for you to discover in your own personal unfolding through the journey.
Thank you. One more question from the YouTube. Hi, from Una. I'm wondering what would happen to humanity in case it goes too far in destroying the ecosystem or on the planet.
If humanity destroyed the ecosystem too much, you might find you go down a similar path that those beings you know as the Greys went down, in which they, in the end, morphed and merged with their own technology. This is not something we see as very likely for you at this time. In a way, the current experience you are manifesting for yourselves, you call the pandemic, is something that you have created to steer you away from such environmental collapse, while it may not seem that way initially.
Thank you. We are getting close to the time of ending the meeting.
Yes, the channel is as well a bit tired.
Right.
And so if there are no other questions, we can close now. We would invite you all to close your eyes, firmly plant your feet against the ground, and imagine a clear path of energy that comes all the way from the center of your earth and rises up through your feet. Feel this energy rising through your body, through your legs, into your root chakra, filling you with a sense of grounding and support. Allow this energy to rise through each and every one of your following chakras as it makes its way to the top of your head. And open your crown chakra as well. Imagining a waterfall of energy that flows in the center of your galaxy, descending into your body, filling you with cosmic light from the galactic center and from many stars beyond. Allow this energy to enter, flooding your body with light, trickling down all the way to your toes. In this connected state, bring yourself into your heart center and breathe into this place. Allowing your heart to expand as you invite in your soul counterpart from the time post-contact, a future version of yourself who has already met extraterrestrials on the physical plane. Imagine gazing into their eyes and feeling a heart connection, again with a future version of yourself. Allow them to share with you the great rapture that is the true ascension, the true meeting with dimensions beyond your own. Allow any concerns or intentions you have for your future and your planet's future to be expressed to this future version of yourself. And allow them to show you telepathically the answer. Visions of this future Earth reality. Allow them to show you that there is nothing to fear. Allow them to show you that your intentions will become reality. And allow this frequency they are sharing with you to enter and stabilize in your whole being. Remembering this feeling again and again of a joyful anticipation of the future at a time when so many fear the future. If you can hold this frequency in your being, you can be the remedy. You can radiate and ripple outwards. A deep and palpable hope that all you may seek will come to be. And that the unity you create in your day-to-day life will one day be the reality for your whole planet. Remember, nothing is set in stone. You are co-creators. And if you like what you see, choose it in every moment and live your passion without insistence. For all of the support is and always has been there. Our love to you, our thanks to you. We love you deeply and thank you for all the sharing that you do and all of the integration you do of this work to share in your world. Without you, as the ground crew, nothing we do as the Channel Pleiadian Council would serve at all. So thank you for making these teachings a reality for your planet. We love you and we wish you had a very pleasant rest of your experience at this day, evening, or night. Beautiful.
All sorts of awesome. Yo, thank you, Dante.
Welcome again.
Thank you.
Much love, Dante. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. We had a really amazing group today.
Thank you, Dante, so much.
Welcome. Appreciate everybody tuning in all these times.
Thank you, Dante.
As possible. Thanks, Amanda. Thank you, Carol.
Day.
Everybody.
Beautiful.
Josh, George, X101, all. So again, if you guys can donate to the links I shared, or you cannot do that, appreciate it. We'll do this again probably next week. Just gotta tune in with that. I'm in a bit of a life transition, but you may see some new content.
It's funny now. Your mic is not good again. It was.
Oh.
The whole transmission was perfect.
Probably the subtle movements of it screw it up. I was quite still during the transition.
Okay. So we didn't really hear the last part you said.
Oh, the last part at all? What I was saying was thanks to everybody. And if you guys want to donate, you can share through the links that I posted. It's optional. There's no need. And we'll probably do this again last week, but I'm not next week. But I'm not sure, as I'm in a bit of a life transition. You may see some new stuff coming, or maybe not. And yeah, that's what I said.
Thank you, everybody.
Dante, could you please share your PayPal link? I don't find it.
Okay, I put it once in the chat, but I'll put it again in the chat again. I don't know if it's in the YouTube chat, if you remember to post that into the YouTube chat.
Yeah, it is. I posted here again.
Thanks.
So, thank you so much. So it's already in the YouTube chat, and it's now again in the Zoom chat. Really appreciate that. And also, I'm available for one-to-one sessions, and the channeling course may happen again in the summer. I've been postponing it since the start of the year, but I've been doing many other things that needed to happen. So, anyway.
Dante, you're still accepting Venmo too, right?
Yeah, Venmo also works.
Yeah, okay, I thought.
Wait, hold on. I think Venmo works. Actually, I prefer if it's PayPal's better than Venmo, because I remember getting an email from Venmo last month that asked me to log into the app and confirm something, and I don't remember the password, and my computer saved the password. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get into Venmo again until I get to the States. But if that's the only option, it still works.
Okay, so I make sure I'll email you, because make sure I did a Venmo not too long ago. So
okay, yeah. Yeah, I think I can still get in. I think it stops working in May, so I still have like 10 days. Anyway. Okay. Oh, I'm a little tired now. I'm going to go for a little swim. And thanks again, everybody. Love you all. And thanks for making this possible. Have a brilliant, blessed day. And be in touch if you need anything.
Much love.
Love to all. Yes. Enjoy your swim.
Yeah. See you soon.